Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Troy LaValle. I want to welcome you back to Androids and Aliens. I'm so glad that you don't have a social life so that you can join us tonight.
Hey. This is a very social activity.
Are you talking to us or are you talking to the audience?
Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm in a really good mood, and tonight's opening banter might not be good, but I still want to talk about it because it's on my mind. Before we started this show, I read the core rulebook cover to cover. Don't recommend it. It did nothing other than just immerse myself in something that I immediately forgot. But towards the back of the book, there was suggested reading. And so I was like, you know what? I need to read one of these books to just get back in the zone, get back in the sci-fi zone, science fantasy zone before we start recording this show. And this was, 100 years ago when we started this. Before I had kids, when I was still doing fun reading, one of my New Year's resolutions was to start doing leisure reading again. And so I've been banging out books left and right, just reading a little bit in the morning, a little bit before I go to bed. And I came down to the point where I just have one book left in my library that I haven't read. And I wasn't going to read it. I was like, I don't know if I want to. But then I picked it up the other day, and I'm just kind of powering through it, and it's really bringing me back. And it is part 2 of the Commonwealth saga, Judas Unchained. And I read Pandora's Star right before we started the show. I finished it before we started recording, I think. Maybe I was reading it as we started.
Real light reading that run.
It's a little bit of work, but it's good payoff. Actually, no, it's a huge cliffhanger, but it's a really good book. A million different characters. If you like Hyperion or something like that, it's very Hyperion-esque, and it's just a great world. And so I was like, God, do I want to do it again? I mean, look at all that. It's a lot. And you're reading it and so like, oh, is this in did I get the Mandarin version? Nope, that's in English. But that's what I'm reading right now.
You're really selling it.
It's very, very good. It's very good. But correct me if I'm wrong, Ellie or Troy. But isn't it considered like high science fiction?
Hard sci-fi.
Hard science. Yeah,
I think so.
It's they think about physics a lot. They talk about science a lot in the book, and it really seems like this stuff is possible. It doesn't seem like magic. You know what I mean? They explain it in that way.
It's set on Earth, sort of like in the future, so it's sort of grounded in reality, but it's not like I wouldn't say it's like The Martian, which felt like a mission to Mars, basically. But I think it's pretty good. It's also philosophical, like what would happen. What I took away from the first one, Pandora's Star, was that. The idea experiment of what if you live forever? Like, what if you can sort of rejuvenate yourself every other hundreds of years, marriage suddenly doesn't, it's not a thing anymore. Like, people are just like, nah, I gave you one lifetime. I'm not going to give you more than that. And so, but it creates also this political aspect of it as well, like these empires of families, Suddenly, it's an interesting book, but it took me a while to get into it because I have the attention span of a 5-year-old. So for me, I think I restarted Pandora's Star over and over and over, but then eventually got to it. And I remember now I haven't read Judas Unchained, so I don't know what happens with that Cliffy.
Yeah,
don't spoil it.
I won't. But I mean, I'm 50 pages in, and I still am not 100% sure what I'm reading. I don't remember all the characters, but you can either just not read it or just dive in, and hopefully it'll jog your memory. But anyways, the reason I talk about this is to see what's everybody else reading these days. You guys read for fun? Grant, are you reading Mustache Comb Weekly?
not just Mustache Weekly, like really specifically the comb. Holmes.
I really like to nerd out on the right equipment for the job, Troy, and this mustache is hard to tame. I got some really divisive comments from my parents. My dad texted me and said, "Excellent job. You look distinguished. Hundreds of years of burger men have been wearing mustaches. You are walking in the footsteps that your forefathers have trodden before you." And my mom just wrote in, and my mom had a messy, bad divorce from my dad, and I look exactly like my dad. But the thing that gives her comfort is that I don't have this mustache. So I could just feel her just like, oh God,
No.
and she wrote
Happening again.
she wrote, "I think you're more handsome without the mustache, but you can keep it if you want, I guess." But very non-committal. And my sister just called me and said, "Shave that shit off right now."
You're a week away from that thing being bushy and beautiful. But what are you reading? Can you read past that thing?
It's hard. I have to be
Down to the book like this?
I have to get that pillow that elevates you in the bed so I can see over it. I'm reading Dante by Guy Haley, the wonderful Black Library novel from Warhammer 40K about it's split perspectives just through different ages. So it's kind of like a Space Marine character like what Skid played on New Game Who This, where he's a child and wants to join up in one chapter, and then it fast forwards 500 years and he's a badass slicing through Xenos and the others. So
Cool.
adds a lot of humanity to it. It's really neat, and it's a fun beach read, I would say. It's like not hard to read, and the action moves it forward.
Oh, that does sound good. Yeah. Matthew, you got a stack probably right next to you there. What are you cycling through? Go grab it.
No,
friends here.
There's too many stacks. I'm reading right now. I'm reading Ali Smith's Autumn, which is really great. It's kind of like one of the first post-Brexit novels, Scottish novel, possibly.
It's not from the Black Library?
It is not. In fact, the Emperor
It's not a
does
Dan
not.
Abnett book?
The Emperor has very little presence. I'm also reading Masha Gessen's The Future is History, which is great. It's a look at kind of modern day Russia. And what else am I reading? I read
a couple of light beach reads you've got there.
What's a beach read except something you just read on a beach?
Yeah, I guess.
It's something that's enjoyable and not fucking make you feel miserable all the time.
Are those
It's
for school?
I read Crime and Punishment on the Jersey Shore when I was a teenager, so I agree with Matthew. It was a delight.
Do you have to do a book report at the end?
Do you beach read snobs? You can read whatever you want on the beach, whatever you want to read.
No, it should be like the girl with the dragon tattoo, or old lady porn.
That's it.
What's old lady porn?
A romance novel.
Like Outlander.
I don't want to read that. I want to watch it.
I didn't know quite where the line was, given Ellie's Swedish approach to culture. Could have
Girl
been
with the dragon tattoo is old lady porn. Oh no!
You're reading the Matthew of books. Your taste in book is
still on my comics train too. So I've been reading. I've been reading Jason Aaron's run on Doctor Strange, which is really. I've never read any Doctor Strange before, so that was really fun.
I never have either. And when I saw the movie, I was like, eh. And then I saw. I can't remember which movie it was. I think it was the Infinity War. And I was like, I gotta go back and watch Doctor Strange again. And I watched it a second time, and I was like, this is really good. And then I watched it a third time, and I was like, Doctor Strange is an incredible character, way beyond what I assumed from that uninitiated first watch. So I would definitely love to read some Doctor Strange.
The run I'm reading is super funny too. It's serious. It's really he's in a really perilous situation, but also at the same time, there's a real sense of wit and humor about it, which I really, really love. I also read. I've been doing. I know people have been sending in recommendations. I have been reading the Alan Moore Swamp Thing as well, but I'm kind of parceling that out and saving it because it's so great. I just got no spoilers, but I got to the point for those who have read it with the tuber, which it was fun. It was a psychedelic experience reading it.
All right, Sydney, what one book did you read?
I'm sorry, Matthew. I don't think you understood the assignment. You're really reading 8 books today?
Lord.
Yeah, I read multiple things at once. It's fun.
You know, we don't have time for the rest of you. Matthew chose all of your books. Sorry, Sydney. Anyways, last week you guys fought some Cernox. Sydney,
I think Joe actually recommended the book that I'm slogging through. Again, it's hard to focus on a book. I love reading for pleasure, but sometimes life takes over and then the reading becomes not pleasurable. So you put it aside.
You'd never read The Cat in the Hat?
Too many words.
I thought that's what Joe suggested.
No, I think you suggested this, Joe. I'm reading The Left Hand of Darkness.
Yes, I did suggest that.
Yeah, which is like another classic sci-fi, but also kind of hard to read. The names are really confusing, and like the species themselves, obviously the great thing about this story is like this interchanging gender between the species, and like there is no binary, and it's like very fascinating. But man, the names are confusing, and every time I put it down, I pick it back up, and I'm like, I don't know who this fucking is. I have to flip back like 6 pages, and I still don't know who it is, and I'm like, fuck it, and I flip forward 6 pages. But I will say, I am enjoying it. And once I finish it, I'm going to read Hitchhiker's Guide. That's my next one.
Oh, God. I love Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yep. That's a beach read. That's a fun beach read.
That's an anywhere read. Why is it
okay, sorry, Matthew. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get into a fight with Matthew tonight.
I just want people to feel free to read whatever they want to read, wherever they are.
If we were in the studio right now, I would be kicking Matthew under the table.
Oh man, I would bet on who would
It's
win.
a genre, Matthew. It's like you can't just say a book is fiction that's nonfiction because you don't believe it. I don't.
If you see
you can't
someone,
just say it's another genre.
If you see someone reading James Patterson at a dentist's office, shoot them in the head. They shouldn't be doing that. That's a book for the beach, and that's a book for the airport.
Wow. So murder. You're saying murder.
No, Joe.
Can you imagine the James Patterson mystery about the people who killed James Patterson readers in the places you're not supposed to read?
TM. This is our idea, Matthew. Let's write it. You and I.
Let's team up like James Patterson and Bill Clinton will write a book together.
Joe, you doing any leisure reading on the toilet?
I was and I stopped due to New Game Who Dis, which is a lot of reading. But I was also reading science fiction. I picked up a book that was recommended to me by a buddy called Seven Eves. I was telling Skid about it by Neil Stevenson, who wrote Snow Crash. And it's really good. It's really interesting and really good. And it's another one of those like, I guess, hard science fictions, and more like The Martian, Ellie, because it's basically like he puts together a real explanation of like an apocalyptic event that is imminent, and it's not a classic asteroid sort of story, but it's like it's going to happen and there's no reversing it, and so it becomes like the math and science of like how many people can we actually get off the Earth with the technology we have right now, and how can we make them help them survive long enough to like find another planet at some point. Like it's really, and there's all the greatest scientists of the world coming together and trying to figure it out. It's a neat book.
Nice.
That sounds good. Snow Crash is great. Ellie, what are you reading? And this is going to sound like I'm making fun of you, but I'm not. Do you read books in English?
I knew what your question was going to be.
Why do you?
Or is it all gibberish?
I read Swedish books in Swedish, and I read English book in English. Like if the author is on English.
All right, so if you read it in English, you don't
read translations. You're like
the Swedish version of something.
Yeah.
Like if you read The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in English, are you like, oh?
No, but I would probably laugh a little bit about it. But
you're like, that's not what he means. That's not what he's really saying.
Do people really talk about their Apple products like that in Sweden constantly? Every other page in that book, he pulled out his PowerBook G4 and typed into it. It's like,
I mean, probably. I actually, that one, I haven't read Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. I've only seen the movie, so I don't know. But I did read Harry Potter as a kid in Swedish and then switched to English when I knew how to read English. And I hated the Swedish translation after that because they, dirty blonde hair, for example, they translated into filthy blonde hair in Swedish.
So blonde hair is just a dirty person.
Exactly.
That's the translation.
My favorite character, Luna Lovegood, she was described as dirty blonde hair and like loony. And everyone was just like, yeah, she's fucking trash. She's like filthy as shit.
Just wash her hair.
But
What are you reading now?
I actually restarted. I'm going to win this competition, by the way. I just started Sandman again by Neil Gaiman because it's becoming a show. And why are you shaking your head, Matthew?
No,
I saw that.
I'm expressing my deep love. I love Sandman fervently.
I love it. You're one of those people who express love and hate in the similar way, which is it's interesting. Because
Cold glares and slight shakes of the head.
I was holding it to my heart.
Yeah, but Sandman, and I have the annotated version. I don't know what annotated means, but that's what I have. It's a huge thingy. And I think it's because it has notes. But yeah, Sandman, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Why are you going to win, and what is the point system of this game?
The game, because it's the best book.
Coolest book?
I don't know.
Get back to me.
Get back, yeah.
Kid, what are you reading these days? You're a jet setter?
Mostly rule books, but
Yeah, exactly. Mired in it.
yeah. But I pretty recently read Dave Itzkoff's biography of Robin Williams. That was really good. And I have Blood Meridian, and I've read the first 3 chapters of it. I need to get back into that, but yeah.
Keep going.
I like it. I like it.
And
so
don't
far.
stop when you hit the tree of dead babies. Just keep going.
I'm at the same point as Skid with Blood Meridian, and I bought Blood Meridian with Skid and Matthew at that Portland bookstore.
Pals?
Pals.
That was a great bookstore. Yeah. It was not overrated. I will say that.
That's great.
Well, this was all just precursor to find out not only his book of choice right now, but to welcome him back to the show. His presence has been missed. He's been killing it on New Game Who Dis the past 3 weeks. Give it up for David Winters!
Hello. I'm back. Much to your chagrin, Skid, I'm back.
I tried to establish my fondness for you. Despite perceptions, I suppose, that I've heard about. I quite like David Winters. I like having him on the show. I liked having him as a GM. That was really a fun experience for me, despite what anyone says.
Oh, man. I love this.
I just read rule books too, and unlike the two of you, I'm not even going to pretend like I read anything else because the entire extent of what I do is either preparing for stuff like this or getting ready for the next thing. And there is no time for anything else other than sleeping or when I can't read anymore, watching TV. That's it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
And work,
that's
of course.
That's why I
And
had to make it a New Year's resolution, because I was just reading game stuff. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not finding joy in anything. So I highly suggest just squeezing it in. 10 pages a day, 5 pages. Just come back to earth. But how you been, man? Did you catch the shows that we did without you?
Of course I did. It was wonderful. I got to sit back, relax, crack open a nice beer, and yell at the TV like many of the fans I'm sure out there. Like, no, that's not how you do it. No. Like, oh. And, I almost sent angry messages to myself about rules that were missed, and it just didn't go over very well. It just bounced back.
There was one. Didn't we do, I hope we did it right. Flat-footed at the start of combat?
That was wrong.
No! It's wrong?
Yeah.
Was any of us right?
Flat. You kind of flipped it. So you're right. We talked about it before. You are not flat-footed. You're not flat-footed unless it's a surprise round. But you have to wait for your turn to get your reaction. And since you have to wait for your reaction, no AOO. So yeah, no AOO until
So they took the Pathfinder rule and didn't just move on from it. They just turned it just enough to be irritating on a show. Damn it.
But,
David, did you have any reaction to, say, one of us, doing something right, and you were like, like crying tears of pride, and you were like, they're learning.
Yeah, there are a couple instances. I think you found Solarian crystal.
Yeah.
And people were like, can I put that in my weapon? And I'm like, don't you dare. And someone was like, no, this is only for Solarians. And I was like, oh yeah, good job, guys.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I was listening back to that and I was like, I was picturing you at that moment being like, it's Solarian, because Ellie's just like, I'll put it in my ultra thin longsword. And everyone's like, yeah. And I was like, David's dying right now.
What was it me? Was it? Okay.
No, we all didn't know. And then Grant was like, looked it up and was like, actually, I think that's Solarian and can only be used by a Solarian.
And I went to the closet, got a small brown paper bag and was hyperventilating into it to really just bring myself down. And that bag got a lot of use, but I'm happy to be back.
David, I have to ask.
We're glad to have you back.
I have to ask, did anyone survive that shouldn't have survived because of a wrong rule reading? I want to know if someone should be dead because of how we screwed up these rules.
Yeah, because I'll walk it back.
Yeah, let's just redo the last 2 episodes. Is that kosher? Really just drag this thing on? No, I think that all was fine. This stuff's not that dangerous for you guys just yet. Hopefully we're getting there soon.
What do you mean? It's not that dangerous. I have 21 hit points left.
Ellie, it's like every other episode. You are about to die. It's kind of your thing, and it's great. But it's kind of standard at this point. So
it's because of your bravery.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and Troy's inclination to always attack your character.
You combine those two things, 21 hit points.
Actually, I think if Troy wasn't, what's it called, softballing me, then I think I would be dead. But Troy is being nicer than he probably should be, according to some people.
It's because I care about each of you.
Troy's attorney.
It's because I care deeply about each of you and your feelings.
Nah.
He says with a straight
Notice
face.
did you see the pause he left for laughter there?
All right, here we go. Before we start, I just want to give everyone a little heads up about some schedule changes coming up. So we've got this show tonight. We got a show next week. And then the following week, we're going to be in Atlanta for Glass Cannon Live. That'll be our second of 2 shows happening during Dragon Con at the Masquerade. Woo. Tickets still available. Come on, Atlanta. Get your vaccination and come see us. It's going to be a good time. So we're not going to do an Androids and Aliens that week on Friday, September 3rd. And we're also going to take our Friday, September 10th. We've got a crazy month with 2 shows in Atlanta, 2 shows in Indianapolis, and then Chicago and Columbus. So we're taking the 3rd and the 10th off, and then we're coming back on the 17th with the final episodes of this show. So
when you say final episodes, what does that mean? Does that mean the final 2 episodes? The final 10 episodes? How many episodes are left?
The final episodes. That's it. Might be 2. Might be 2.
So it's 2.
Around 2. No, there's going to be, I honestly don't know how many. And who knows what that last episode's going to be. Is it going to be like, all right, roll for initiative, and then we just go for 4 hours? Or is there going to be a whole episode of epilogues? I don't know. We've never ended a show. That's what these next couple weeks are going to be. Me just really thinking about 7 or 8 different possible endings. But we've got some beginnings here because you guys just wrapped up a juicy fight, the last of which that you can see in this hangar. You went in, you thought it was a vampire, you thought that for weeks, and I thought you were so stupid when you thought that. And I laughed at myself at how stupid you were that you thought it was a vampire. I said, they're so stupid. They're convinced of it.
No,
then you went in there, and it wasn't a vampire. It was 2 giant worms. They're known as Cernox. They made a very cool move that could have killed Linnea, but you bravely took them out. And at the end of the episode, you went to look in the little cabinet to see if the last security finger bone card was in there. And it was.
Yeah!
The finger bone.
Got it.
I also forgot to mention during that fight, we started it where Callum used Mage Hand to get the gun out of the box.
That was so cool.
Callum didn't get hit for that entire fight. I just moved backwards. So the whole time I was dangling the gun with Mage Hand, whoa, there's snakes. Whoa, look out.
In addition to that fourth and final card, as far as you know that computer that you couldn't hack that set off that shock, like it had 4 slots for these finger bones, and you know that putting these in is going to give you enough of a bonus to at least give you a fighting chance of hacking the most intense computer you've ever come across. There's some more things in this little locker, though. There is a gun. I told you that. And I'm just going to tell you what it is because, okay, you're going to hit the check at some point. It's known as a Merciful Venomous Paragon semi-automatic pistol with 16 small arm rounds. And we'll kick it to David in a second to talk about what that gun does. But in addition to that, there are 3 doses of Tier 3 sedatives.
Whoa.
You have to imagine they're using that on these Cernox probably if they need to come in here and get stuff. Tier 3 is no joke. 3 doses of spray flesh. And each of the Cernox had an atmosphere collar on them that provides similar protection to the environmental protections that your armor has. You'd have to alter it if you wanted to with an engineering check. Actually, Friss, you look at that thing and you're like, I might be able to turn that into something else if I nail an engineering check. Maybe turn it into some sort of armor upgrade.
Oh, okay. Can I try to do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm using, by the way, dice I bought today. I'm up here in Massachusetts. Got a Darkwater Games. I was in there. They're very nice. Did not get recognized. Did not really expect to, but anyway, nice store. That is a 38.
38. You're able to, with a couple twists and turns like a Rubik's Cube, turn that collar into an armor upgrade that will act as a gray force field.
Oh, nice.
David, tell them what they've won with the gray force field.
Gray force field. So armor upgrade, you obviously need a slot for that. But it gets you 20 temp HP and it has fast healing 5. So you get that 20 buffer and then every round 5 back. No fortification. This is 1 tier below where the fortification starts kicking into these force fields, but that is still pretty badass. And in fact, that has a street value of, I don't know where it went, but
40,000 credits.
40,000. It's somewhere between a white and a green. Oh, here we go. 40,000 credits. Thank you, Matthew. That is correct. I thought you were making that up.
Matthew bought one for himself yesterday.
This will require
so large. I thought you were making it up.
That's all Matthew reads at the beach.
Yeah, that's where I read my core rule books on the beach, because they too can be beach read.
No. You know what, Matthew? They're not. And you know how I know? Because you've never, ever, once read a core rulebook on it. You're lying, and everyone knows it.
Well, that's because I don't go to the beach anymore. I burn. I'm losing my hair, and my scalp burns. And
we only sell trucker hats.
We only sell trucker hats. I did bring this up recently. I was like, is there any chance we'll sell a baseball hat that's not a trucker hat so that I can use it to protect me from the rays of the sun?
What the hell is a trucker hat? Like, does it have a hole in it?
We'll discuss this at lunch. I have 3 non-trucker hats being sent to me this week for me to say no to. Yeah, so this is pretty sweet. 20 temporary hit points and fast healing 5, but you don't get that fortification. So I don't know if people have slots open on their armor or slots they'd want to exchange.
2 slots.
2 slots. It takes up 2 slots.
2 slots. Ooh. And there are 2 of these collars that Friss was able to maneuver.
So I'm not sure what you have in your armor there, Ellie, but this is phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't have 2 slots. I mean, then I have to give up my jetpack and other stuff. I mean,
I might.
What was that, Callum?
Huh? What? Is that a necklace? I don't even know what you said. That looks cool. It's a hot topic. It's like a choker.
David, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just want to be clear on the fast healing property. The main thing about the fast healing property is basically if you go to 0, you will not have to spend resolve ever.
No,
You'll
sorry.
just come back.
Well, no, I think it's at the force field that's fast healing.
Yeah.
Is that right?
At the end of
the
your-
force field reimburses with its own.
It regenerates end of your
like-
turn.
yeah.
End of your turn, the force field goes back up until it hits
Got it.
25 per turn, which is still awesome.
It's like Halo.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, it's like Call of Duty. You can't get shot too many times in a row, but other than that, you'll heal up.
Well, we were trying to think about who wants those two, or if nobody wants them, we'll just throw it out the airlock. Tell us about this gun, David, because it sounds pretty cool.
If you thought those 40,000 credit force fields were nice, this is a 45,000 credit gun before the fusions. So this is a gun with 2 separate weapon fusions on it. So this is a semi-auto pistol Paragon, which is the highest level of semi-auto pistols. If you recall, you just picked up 5 of those semi-auto tactical pistols recently. So those
Those are crap compared to this.
Those are the elite. I believe the elite, right? A couple of you are walking around with those. Those are 3d6. This is 4d6 damage. Similar small arm piercing damage. However, 2 fusions. Fusion number 1, Venomous. Venomous, once per day, you can have the weapon basically turn into the injection property. So similar to what Friss is kind of doing with his injection gun. Is a swift action. You can, I believe it's a swift action, shoot projectile to inject something. So that could be handy. The other fusion is Merciful, and Merciful basically allows you to turn on stun. So turn your bullets into non-lethal damage if you need to subdue anyone.
Oh,
Very cool.
Pretty sweet. There's only one of them, but think about who wants it.
I think Callum mage hands the gun towards Friss and everybody else because notoriously Sydney the player is a terrible shot. I don't know why. I always roll bad on guns. So,
And you have a +3 to hit.
And I have a +3 to hit. You think I would do better? I do want one of the collars though. So if anybody wants to roll,
I will roll for a collar. I have to
2 collar rollers.
I have to
Anybody
give
else?
up my jump jets, but I think it would be worth it.
I have 2 slots open. So
Ooh, anybody else in for the collars, or are we just giving them away?
I mean, I'm interested in the money, but then I'm like, it's the end of the world coming, so we're not going to be able to play on that money anyway.
Also, you only get 10% of the value when you sell it.
Right.
I was thinking I would just go to a Western saloon and just drop the gun on the poker table and be like, buy me a house if I win, you know?
I've seen too many westerns. Yes.
So tropey.
If I win.
Win by
so tropey
Classic
to walk into
Ennio
a saloon.
Morricone.
Just like in Fistful of Dollars. That's what Eastwood's character says.
I see that storyline, The Color of Money. God, it's the same every time. Walk up to the pool table. Buy me a house. if I win.
if I win this one, you owe me.
Oh, Lord.
Buy me a house.
Terrifying. Oh,
Lights a match on.
Kreska and Callum get the collars. There you go, Tex. Who wants that gun, if anyone?
I would like the gun.
Yeah, it saves you having to use that swift action to do what you like to do. Do you get any other bonuses from being a biohacker, or is this like a free biohacker class if someone else got it?
I don't think it gives you. You could load it up with, if you the sedative, you could put it into the gun, and you could use that for the injection with the injection property. But otherwise, for me, I would be able to use my biohacker stuff with that gun once per day. So,
Okay, great. So here's
sorry.
the situation. Yeah, good, Callum.
Could you just repeat the collar name one more time? I'm Googling.
Gray force field armor upgrade.
Thank you.
Here's the situation. You have cleared out all the rooms as far as you can tell. This Ultranaut is in the middle of a battle with the defense system from the controller moon as the gateway to the stellar degenerator is open. There's a lot going on, but there's no reason to think that there isn't security around. So you're really in a tough position here. You want to hack that computer. You hope that you have the means to do it. You really don't know where the hell else to go at this point. So what do you want to do?
I also need to rest.
We also have to rest.
No spells.
Yeah, long rest, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the conversation we had last week. So I still don't. I mean, that's the thing. Are we allowed to take a full night's rest? Because that's what that was our plan. We were going to clear out the vampire room and then take a long night's rest. However, not to shit on my own team, but like story-wise, aren't we in a huge, like, the end of the world is coming and we're taking a little nap? I think
we can do whatever we want, Eleanor. It is
cool.
a world of imagination.
But also,
and
like,
we can
as
do
magic
whatever
users,
we want. And and you're right, there might be severe consequences to that rest. But I'm willing to take the chances of, like, not going in with any spells.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a trade-off.
I think it's not like we're going to sleep. Like, as magic users, you know, we're doing things to, like, prepare the magic, but I'm out of magic, so I'm useless.
Whatever.
Yeah, and Dax is going to be looking out and wake everybody up if there's a trouble comes, you know.
Yeah. Wait, does Dax have to sleep? Do you have to sleep?
I would assume so.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I would assume he would, you know, maybe he's fatigued or something like that, but like mechanically, but he doesn't need to rest in order to get back abilities or anything like that.
Yeah.
But just resolve, though.
I mean, mechanically, in that case, mechanically, I could really use a long night's rest because I'm down 5. I only have 5 resolve points left and 21 hit points left. So I could use some sleep.
So maybe could, like, Dax and Friss and Callum do like a watch?
Callum needs to rest. Callum's a magic user.
Yeah.
It's like the way Joe just volunteered half the team.
Well, Callum was the one who, first of all, Callum has a lot of spells left. And secondly, Callum was, like, offered to do the watch last time.
Maybe Friss, Sayan, Callum, Kreska, and Linnea could do the watch.
And I'll get some
Hold on, let me see how many. I was on an old character sheet, and I was like, I have full health. I don't. But my health is okay. My resolve is okay. I have some spells.
All right, it's fine. It's fine. Just rest. It's fine.
Where do you want to rest? How do you want to do this?
Well, here's the real question. Do we want to try to hack the computer and maybe get some intel about what's going on the ship and then rest, or do we want to rest and then hack the computer? I think that feels like the debate we have to have. Because maybe
My worry is-
I say we hack the
systems-
computer and then rest, because not only could it possibly do damage to us now that we could rest off, but also, like, we might be able to lock doors here and stuff like that through the computer if we get access.
Great.
Agree.
All right, place yourselves on the map then, in the direction of that security console room. Assuming you're all in there, I don't know if some are standing watch or if you're all going to go in there and close the door behind you.
Well, I would say just stay out of the room unless you have to, unless, like, you're aiding on the check.
Yeah,
Just to be
I'm gonna
safe.
stay. I'm gonna exactly. I'm worried it's gonna be another trap. So Linnea will be outside.
Same with Callum.
Okay, Friss, you have all 4 of the keys in your possession. You're able to slot each of them into the 4 openings underneath the interface. This really makes me want to play some Android Netrunner, and I'll never play it again. Why don't we bring that to Dragon Con? That'd be fun. We're not going to the con. Just play that in the hotel.
Bring it.
Dude, I would love to. I've brought it multiple times. Nobody ever plays with me. Most of all,
I've been
you're always
pricing
like,
out some-
I gotta write. I'm going to a brewery.
Then I come
Every time I'm like, do you want to play?
What are you talking about?
You want to play a game in the hotel room? You're like, yeah, 100%. I'm going to go do a 2-hour breakfast, and then I'm going to walk to a brewery, and I'll be back in 10 minutes. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
I've been pricing out some commander decks for Magic the Gathering.
Ooh, Matthew, you nerd.
You're such a loser.
Wedge of your pale white skin. All right, here we
Nothing's
go.
worse than being like, hey, I've been reading a lot about commander decks and Magic, and it seems really cool. Does anyone want to play with me? And 8 people are like, nah, man. Such a shitty feeling.
Welcome to my time as a middle schooler.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it felt like.
Welcome to my life. No one ever wants to play poker. Like I've offered so many times. No one
Because you're
wants
always
to.
throwing guns on the table.
You're always like,
Demanding
buy me
that
a
everyone
house.
purchase you houses.
Yeah, I'll play poker with you, Ellie, but you owe me a house if I win.
That's right.
Ooh,
But only if she wins.
Only if I win.
that's fair.
All right, two of you can assist, and you also remember that this computer has a biometric lock. So you used the woman, the pale stranger that was in there. You used her hand in order to aid you in the check.
Seyun will automatically aid the good doctor with a plus 22 in computers.
Oh, another thing you might want to do during your rest that you're planning on taking is chatting with Seyun.
Yes.
Really,
Yeah.
Keep forgetting.
picked her
Because of all
brain.
the action.
Yeah, you just got to throw her into it. But you know what? She's trained to do this. She's built to do this. She's a killing machine. Or is she? You never asked. You just
Yeah.
made her kill.
Yeah.
Who's going to
And there's
aid
a couple
besides Seyun? One more of you. Ellie, do you want to aid?
Dax is there and attempts to, but is unable to. He can't figure this out. He doesn't know what he's looking at.
Zoinks. The keys will give you a plus 16 to your check, and then you'll get an additional plus 2 from Seyun.
Okay.
Do you get +4 per key? Is that how it works?
Yes.
That's cool. So we could have tried earlier.
Yeah, and there's a bonus from the hand of the pale stranger as well. But you still know this is a very, very hard check.
And Friss actually, he takes the hand. He actually takes the hand, like he takes his laser scalpel, like severs the hand and like thump, flops it onto the scanner to unlock it. All right, here we go. He tries to inserts the finger bones, gets the assistance, tries to log in. That is a 52.
No.
What?
Suddenly,
Oh, come on with your lying ways.
so stupidly close. Unfortunately, everyone
What?
in the room roll a fortitude save.
Are you serious?
Wait. 52?
52. So I guess you really couldn't try it with 3.
I will say,
Wow.
I'm going to go as far as to tell you this. Had Joe aided, you would have made the check.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 3.
I want to know. I want to know what
aided.
everyone else's computer score is besides Joe. I want to know why Joe went ahead and rolled on that when he's failed every computer aid he's ever rolled.
I
in
should
this
have
That's
game.
not true at all. I succeed almost every one. I rolled really poorly.
What's your bonus?
+4?
What's your bonus, Sid?
Plus 3.
Oh, okay.
But you gotta give Sydney the non-Joe penalty, the non-Joe buff.
Don't pit us against each other.
Just
Don't pit
because
us-
she's not Joe rolling, she has that's an average of 5
But
more.
So now you have a +5, right?
But I feel like 52 must be the highest number we've ever had in this
Skid,
game.
what did you? Yeah, Skid.
Yeah.
What did you roll? What was your natty?
I rolled an 11 on the die.
Wow, touch of law.
All right, so who is in the room? It's just Seyun and Dax and Friss?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you guys roll on your fortitude saves?
17 for Friss.
19
Dax.
for Dax.
Seyun?
Natural 19 for a 23.
Okay, so you all fail, and you all take 46 points of damage. In addition, Friss, and actually, yeah, Friss, your device that you're using to hack in gets a virus into it, which imposes a -5 penalty on the next check to hack.
Oh my God.
God.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah, it is legit the
Right.
hardest computer, and you were so
Well,
close.
I don't think it's going to be nearly impossible for me to make another check. If I have a -5, like, yeah,
I'll aid.
I'd have to roll. I think an 18 on the die. to get it.
Maybe a little less, but here's the thing. One thing is you need both people to aid you for sure.
Right.
Does anybody have a spell or something they can use to boost Friss's situation?
Is any subsequent check a -5, or is it just Friss's subsequent check at a -5 because of his virus? Like, can
It's
Say
just
Yun
Friss's
make a
check.
can Say Yun make a check at a plus? Because I'd be at a plus.
Yeah, because it was his implement that got the virus. Naish would have her own implement.
How different are we, Skid?
Say Yun, sorry.
I'm at 22. What are you at?
I'm 23.
Okay, so I'd be 4 points higher than you if I made the check. So that's adjusting, but it's still a high roll.
I like this story-wise, Seiyun being like, hold on.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
46 points of damage! David had a cough there. I noticed you were coughing, David.
I was coughing about bottle caps. That's another little fact.
Yeah,
Get that out of
his
your mouth.
bottle cap is not. I mean, just to get a natural 18, that is such a.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
matter.
throw,
Wait, hold
I can
on.
throw my
Does-
bottle cap.
Yeah, but it's a waste of a bottle cap, I think, unless this is literally life or death.
I only have to
Does it-
I only have to get a 14.
Yeah.
Does
you're right.
charisma or
Okay,
perception?
so then the bottle cap would be worth it. I think.
Does charisma or perception help Friss at all? If I gave you any boons to charisma or perception, does that help you
No.
with that?
No.
Okay.
No. It would have to be to my.
How about a chief
Well, what's
mate?
computers use? Intelligence?
Yep.
How about a chief mate? A chief mate
Dance? A good dance?
encouragement.
A dance.
A luau?
Dance.
A little bit of a little performance. Another.
feel the guns,
I can do some cartwheels.
Oh no, the hula dancer took 52 points of damage.
Well, the Seiyun plan isn't terrible if you get 2 aids.
I'm gonna.
Is there, yeah, that's not terrible at all. Is there, and one's guaranteed, is there nobody has a spell that buffs intelligence at all, correct?
Oh.
Okay.
I could. Here's a question: does it? Would it help if Kresko walked in and beat on the computer with a Dashko?
That might, you'd be surprised, but that's probably going to give the opposite of the result you're looking for.
Files are in the computer?
Let's break it open.
I will throw on my bottle cap on this roll, Seiyun. So
For Seiyun's
use it
roll
on-
or for Dax's aid?
Dax's aid, maybe?
I'm gonna aid.
We're having a
Callum's
good
aiding.
time. No, I don't think you can. You said
Wait.
only 2 can aid, right, Troy? Or can more come in the room?
2 can aid.
Oh, okay.
I also want to take a 10-minute rest before we try again.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I will burn another John.
Seiyun will ask Dr. Friss what he saw in the system to try to avoid any pitfalls or like backdoor stuff that might stop her from achieving her goals.
It was one glass. It's a Cobra security code. I missed it. It's like a rookie mistake, Juba.
I don't know. I don't know why, Doctor, but this seems familiar to me.
Please, I insist. Succeed. Well, I failed.
Cobra, you say?
Cobra.
I didn't see it before, but now that I look, I still don't understand it. I rolled the exact
damn it.
same number.
God,
I should have
fucking
rolled.
damn.
Exact same fresh number.
It's
why did we let him do it again?
I don't know.
There's no one else to do
Talks
it.
about this.
I said I could do it.
Right,
You
but
made
have
up
a
this whole
lower
idea that she wasn't in the room before, so she can't come in now.
I'm sorry, I just meant
bullied us
we
all
couldn't
away.
add you on to it. I wasn't
failing.
thinking about it correctly. I'm sorry.
Oh my fucking
Oh, I loved
God.
watching that fall apart. Who else was going to be the other aid?
Friss.
Friss is going to try.
Yeah, I do it automatically.
And Friss automatically aids. All right, so you've got a plus 16 plus 2, so plus 18.
Do I get anything from the hand, or you're modifying on your
I'm
end?
adjusting that on my end, yeah.
Okay.
T-t-t-t-t-
And I roll twice.
What
roll
do you
twice,
need?
Take the better.
Don't worry
A
about
natural-
it, Joe. Just see what happens, man.
You've done enough, Joe.
Uh-oh, I don't think you liked the first roll. Doesn't look like you liked the second one either.
46, but then a 56.
Oh,
Find out after this word from our sponsor.
Troy.
You're in. Sayan, you step up, you look at Dax, damn fool, and you are into this system. This is a tier 10 computer.
Dear twin.
Oh man.
Someone took away my bottle cap. I was having fun moving around the map.
That was incredible work, Sayan. I've never seen anyone move that fast in a system.
Thank you, Dax. I've never seen a computer with this many gigabytes of RAM. That's random access memory, and I have trouble accessing my own RAM.
Yeah, Friss is actually looking at her and just thinking about who this person actually is. Like, this is something that he thinks Meishan probably would not have been able to accomplish, but he's just like, he's blown away by like what she must be capable of watching this happen, especially when he just fucked up so bad.
I think you see like magical glyphs and runes come out of her as well as a technomancer thing with no mechanical benefit, but just as part of the flavor of the class as well, which enhances everything.
And this is the first time it occurs to Dax. He has a similar feeling to Friss. He's never seen anything like this from Meishan, and this is probably the first time that it occurs to him that it isn't that Sayan isn't like a differently named clone. You know, that like it's because to Dax, he's not looking that deep. He's looking skin deep, literally. You know, so it's like, oh, they look the same. They move the same. They talk sort of similar. So that's it. But now this is the first time seeing the way she worked. He's like, oh, wait a minute. This might be a different entity.
Yeah. Entity. As if it's a different, it's like it's a god.
Yes.
Yeah.
Callum leans to Linnea outside the room and he goes, I'm confused. Are Meishan and Sayan sisters? What am I missing?
See, Callum, I frankly don't know. Maybe twins. Identical twins. I've heard about that before.
That's why they were confused.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. But
she's smart. She's super smart.
Yeah, clearly the new one, the one twin is the better one, obviously, because
I heard that.
It's Meishan 2.0. Now that you've accessed the security console, you have access to a ton of information about the layout of the ship, as well as some other things. What do you want to know? You want to just learn some basics about the ship?
Start there and then move on.
All right, well, the Empire...
I want to know everything that's in the computer system. Just tell us everything that she sees.
The Empire of Bones, as the ship is known, is a unique ultranaut. It's a massive warship larger than battleships, carriers, and dreadnoughts. It's one of the flagships of the Corpse Fleet, and it leads its own armada of vessels, which you've seen and which you pass through to even get on here. If I can direct you to roll 20 for a second, this is this is just going to be interesting, I think, for you. This is the stats of the ship.
Whoa, my goodness.
It's a lot of text.
Look at its H-Pizzle.
Blackwind Annihilator.
Wow.
Yeah,
but you know what? It is a bit clumsy in its turn radius.
Trash it.
Always the
interested.
pessimist.
Dang.
Yeah,
it has 151 crew.
Wow.
This is a huge ship. Yeah, I think
35 cargo hold.
we were asking how big the ship was before because we were like, can it crash into stuff? This is a huge ship.
Yeah.
Sorry, I completely misstated that. It's like 700 crew. No,
Yeah.
way more than that.
Wait,
Exactly.
oh my God.
Every
It's
station
thousands.
every station has a lot of
insane.
The gunners, there are 1,500 people working the guns alone. Holy shit, I've never seen stats like
Wow.
this.
How
Like
are
the
you?
town of Telluride is operating each of them.
How is Troy gonna play this?
Yeah, I know. Well, at least we know he's not going to have to run this ship in Starship Combat. Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. I think it's important for you to see this because you get a real sense of the scope of the ship. I can say it's really big. I can compare it to a Star Destroyer, but seeing this gives you an idea of the mechanical implications of a ship this size.
Did you guys see the slime patch system? Now that's a funny Oxyan little detail that it has like some sort of necrotic networking system throughout there. That's amazing.
Well, luckily for us, there's many little nooks we can hide in if it's this big for our rest.
Now, you know that from this terminal, in this particular one hangar, out of however many hangars they have here, you can't access any of the ship's main systems. What is your goal here?
Hold on, I just want to say one more thing mechanically. The captain, the engineer, the pilot, and the science officer are all level 20 characters.
Yep.
Oh,
that is,
well, they have 20 ranks in their key skill.
You have to be. You have to be.
But isn't that like a compiled score? It's not just one person having that. Isn't that just, it's a value for the ship based on like the systems and the people manning it, not just one person?
No, the bonus is plus 34, for example, for the engineer, but it says in parentheses 20 ranks. Like how many rank points?
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember, like for the big capital ships, I think there's some system. It's like, it's not just, that doesn't measure like one person's skill. I think.
Okay.
I think David can, maybe that's a
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but the point being is you're dealing with high level shit.
Yes.
So
the goal is to find a route to commandeering this ship.
Okay,
and
how do you take control of the ship?
Shutting down anything that would prevent us from doing that task. If there's anything that is in between us and commandeering the ship, piloting it, we want to lock that off somehow or circumvent it.
Okay. So, though crews throughout the ship are required for the vessel to function, all orders come from the command and the control decks. Now, while it might be possible to remotely hack some of those stations to control a single thruster or one sensor array operating the entire ship, which is ultimately what you want to do to fly it into the generator, requires taking control of the bridge and cyber control, and they're both located in the command section, which is several decks above where you are right now. It appears that the command link from cyber control governs both the sensors and the engineering crews, which would function as the engineer and science officer role were you to take it over. A different related system on the bridge governs the gunnery and navigational crews, functioning as the pilot and gunnery roles were you to take it over. And controlling both the command link and the bridge systems, once you gain control of both of those things, it allows an individual to then act as the captain of the ship.
And you said the bridge and cyber control were in the command deck or the control deck? I'm sorry, I didn't follow.
They're both in the command section.
Okay.
Yeah. And you reach the command section. There's basically, on a ship the size of the Empire of Bones, there are hundreds of ways to get from one section of the ship to the other. However, the fastest and safest route from the primary launch and recovery decks, where you are now, to the command and control decks is travel via a grav train. And you see there are several grav train stations in the area, and there's one nearby here and also nearby the command section. So you could take a grav train from here straight to the command section. And the nearest station is about 5 to 10 minutes away.
Do we get the sense that we need to take over, like, so if we want to gain control of the ship to ram it into the stellar degenerator, for example, as a plan, do we get the sense that we would need to have control of all of those systems, or could we just take over the piloting system, or do we need to also have control of the engineering systems? Without
knowing what situation the the Empire of Bones is in by the time you get there? Are they still fighting the defense systems? Do they have 50 people on the bridge? Like, it's going to be hard to tell what you're actually going to have to take control of. How many people you're going to have to get out of the way.
My first thought, Matthew, was right along those lines. It's like, what's the minimum we can do to accomplish the mission? And if it was like, it doesn't matter what the captain says. If we're the pilot and we're the gunners, we can just unload the ship's complete complement of weaponry into the stellar degenerator and then fly the thing into it. But it's possible that there's fail-safes where the captain can just cut off the pilot's ability to fly, or where the engineers can just shut down the engines so we can't fly. Yeah. So like, my guess is we need every system before we'll be able to do what we want with the ship.
You also see a list of some of the names of the higher-ups and their station. The commander of the ship is someone by the name of Admiral Seravox. Looks like they command the entire armada, for which the Empire of Bones is the flagship. So not only this ship, but every other ship. And while they have the power to issue... While they have the power to issue commands to any crew on board, it seems they rarely get involved in the ship's day-to-day operations. Someone by the name of Captain Gerd Nishal is the actual captain of the ship, and the direct superior to the officer that was stationed here that you murdered in cold blood. The records about both of these senior officers, Seravox and Gerd Nishal, are limited, but with the info you have, you could roll to see what kind of undead they are. You also note that Captain Nishal's records include a footnote mentioning something called Project Tombstone that seems to have been added by the security officer here and is only on this particular security terminal. And remember, pictures of you are still on the screens throughout this room. Video and pictures of you. So
can we remove those while we're in the system?
Yeah, so Seiyun, you're still searching through the logs of the most recent security video and photos on the terminal. It's clear that at some point, the security officer stationed here, named Malakar, realized that there were intruders in Hangar Country. This area is called Hangar Country, and periodically spotted you as you were walking about exploring the other rooms. But the log notes that Malakar chose not to activate any alarms and didn't report the invasion to her superiors in the command section, and that this is all part of this Project Tombstone.
Didn't you tell us that in an earlier episode that she decided not to do that? That sounds familiar to me.
She said she was watching you. I can't remember if she tipped her hand as to say, I didn't tell anyone about you yet because I don't know what I'm going to do with you. But you now know that she saw you, didn't report you, and this has something to do with Project Tombstone, which seems to be something she was working on.
Is that can we see if there's details of Project Tombstone?
Sure. You look through, and sure enough, just on this terminal, you find folders about Project Tombstone. It's in the main security logs. There's nothing about it in the main security logs. In Malakar's personal folders on the drive, separate from the day-to-day operations, you find information about Project Tombstone. And a quick glance through those files reveal that this commander in this station was working towards some kind of mutiny. And there are extensive notes on how even a minor threat to the Empire Bones could potentially be used to eliminate, or at least embarrass, and it's written here in quotes, inappropriate members of the command staff, which would include Admiral Seravox, Captain Gerd Nishal, and several other commanders on the same level as Malakar. So she was working on something that could be used to eliminate or embarrass the higher-ups and people in her station. And then also in the Project Tombstone files are notes on a pair of computer viruses that Malakar had introduced into the security computers across the entire Empire of Bones. And it looks like she'd been working on this for a long time, because Friss, you would know, a ship of this size, if you guys said, let's put a virus in, by the time it actually took any effect, it would be years or months for something to get through. So this looks like something she had been working on for a long, long time. There's 2 viruses. One is named Wraith 2.0. And it basically is a virus that prevents the security cameras and security robots on the ship from seeing or recording any creature that has entered into the virus's memory. It appears that Malachar planned to use this to aid in her escape from the vessel in case her plans went south.
Sounds useful.
The Nedry.
I was just going to say it's Nedry. I was just going to say exactly that, Skip.
You didn't say the secret word.
You didn't say the magic word.
Yeah, so you know that you could use this to add your own images that have already been taken into Wraith 2.0's memory, causing the ship's security to ignore them. That would allow you to access secure areas, and at least not allow robots and cameras to react to you.
Beautiful.
The second virus is called Tomb Robber, and this program is capable of creating false security alerts anywhere on the ship, and can also include in these alerts the false security footage of anything in Wraith 2.0's memory. So, Frisk, you're parsing all this out. You realize with an easy hack, you think you could take control of Tomb Robber, allowing you to activate it from anywhere on the Empire of Bones, even using your personal comm unit or data pad or a device that you find on the ship. So if you needed to, for example, rest, you could use Tomb Robber with the images of you that are implanted into Wraith 2.0's memory to draw enough attention away from your true location, allowing you to confidently hole up in an unused room like a security closet or a maintenance tunnel, as long as you don't throw a party and make a bunch of noise. Here's the catch, though. Each use of the Tomb Robber requires you to use the security keys that you found. So you have a finite number of times you can rest safely using this. And you don't know if it's 1 key to activate Tomb Robber, 2 keys, or all 4 keys. But the long and short of this is you have a finite number of times that you can rest for the remainder of the adventure.
Oh.
And it's based on a die roll from me.
So that's period. We can't just rest.
No.
But dude, they didn't send up that we're even here.
You know that without going through these protocols, there'll be security on you in no time. Those robots will be able to track you down.
Question. If we had a bottle cap, would we be able to use that bottle cap on you to roll twice to take the higher number?
Lower.
Or lower number.
I mean the lower...
Yes,
number.
I'd let you do it for the higher number,
us.
but not the lower.
No, but like the higher number...
No, the answer is no.
Okay.
The answer is no. Yeah, he doesn't let us do it.
It's no fun.
And we don't have a bottle cap anyway.
No, but I was thinking I have some tricks I could get a bottle cap. No, I don't have anything. Never mind.
You've been holding back on some real good witty banter to like earn a bottle cap.
Exactly. No, I mean, no one has commented yet on my Swedish shirt, so I was thinking maybe that could be
Nice
fun.
kit. I was going to say, very nice kit there.
You
Yep.
think that's bottle cap worthy shirt?
Yes, I think so.
I do. Yeah.
I think so.
Does she
Okay, how
get
about
one?
this? How about this? I met Peter Forsberg last week.
You met him?
You met him?
Well, he took a walk and I
You
said
saw
hi.
him from
I know you were
100 yards
scheming
away?
on him. This
Yeah,
was the coolest thing. Ellie sent me like secretive footage of Peter Forsberg going for a jog.
You creep!
weeks
You
ago.
absolute creep!
Well, but then I ran into him later while I was walking with my baby, and I was like, can I bother him and like, can you kiss my child? But then I was like, no, I'm gonna leave him alone. But no, he's in great shape. A little gray
You're
hair.
creeping on Forsberg just like Commander Malachar was creeping on us. I love it.
I am.
Is he really that famous there? I bet you a lot of NHL players could walk down the street in New York City and nobody would know who they are. Like, is he really famous there?
Yeah, I mean, we have like 4 people in Sweden who are famous, like, and he's one of them. So
Yeah.
So I think he's famous, but like Swedes are also, we never bother celebrities, so he can also walk down the street and everyone's gonna pretend that they didn't see him and then film him from afar and send
Drafted by the
Skid.
Flyers, played for the Nordiques and the Avalanche.
He was in the Eric Lindros trade.
Yeah. I just remember him from the Avalanche
player.
all those years.
My
There's also-
favorite living athlete.
There's
Peter
also
Forsberg?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
do you guys know the Sundin twins? Like the
Yeah, Matt Sundin. And
If we
Well,
weren't
so there was-
streaming, I'd tell you what I really thought of him.
well, but there is a commercial.
I'll tell you, I can't even tell you what they call him in Boston.
Oh no! But there's a commercial for Carlsberg where they're like, it's like a bachelor party, and there's a bunch of American dudes being like, "Yeah, we're getting Swedish twins to our party," and like, "Oh, really, Swedish twins?" And then it's the two of them who arrives, and it's like, "Hello."
Hello.
They are awful. Such
So-
little. Ugh.
So what do they call?
punts.
What do they call?
I'll tell you after the stream. I don't want to get shut down.
Oh no!
So yeah, a lot of information here, and actually, you can see. I'm going to show you this too because I think this is pretty cool here. This is a very, very thorough map from afar. Wait, do I even have it on here? Oh shit! I guess I didn't put it on here. Well, too bad you don't get to see it. Thought I
I get
had
to
it.
see this very thorough map that your life depends on.
So
I was going to
guess
show it to you for a second. Well, I'll show you next week.
so. I guess that's a no. That's a no on the bottle cap for the hockey story.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was, especially
you
because
get
you
a bottle
mentioned.
cap from me, though. Thank you for sending that secretive video.
You should
Real
have
thrill for me.
You should have looked up earlier a Bruin, any Bruin that was might have been passing through Sweden and just made up, that they were there. You would have gotten a bottle cap from Troy.
They were there to murder the Sedin twins.
Right, exactly. I saw a Bruin assassinate Sundin twins. Troy would be like, bottle cap.
I was in love with the guy I think who played in Bruins for a while, but I mean, like he went to my anyway. It doesn't matter. I'll look it up later, and I don't want to
If
say
you were
his
from
name in case he's
Finland and you saw Tuukka Rask, then we could talk. I'd give you all the bottle caps I had. But
right.
no, you're from Sweden.
Rough break.
I'll get a map. I wanted to show a map to you, but the one I have ready has too much information. But the point is that like there are all these decks all over the ship, and the grav train allows you to you can go around, you can zip, you can take straight routes all the way up. It's pretty sweet. Like this thing goes sideways, forwards, backwards, and that's how you get around. It reminds me of the Alien RPG thing that we played. That Joe ran for New Game Who Dis, like that train, but it might be a bigger ship than that because this train goes all over.
Love it.
All right.
Love it. Terrifying.
So let's talk about order of operations. I think that's sort of the issue, which is like, what do we think is the priority order of taking over systems? If that's a thing. Now, he said command deck. Is everything on the command deck but engineering? Like, is that, or is engineering also on the command deck? I don't know. I think that there's a lot of different ways we could go. Just go to the captain first seems somewhat logical, but it's also like, what if we just got engineering and had control of the engines first? I don't know.
Yeah, then
Seems like from there, we could just stall the ship and then do whatever we wanted for a while. Like,
Well,
Yeah.
cyber control is both the engineer and the science officer, those roles. So we kind of kill two birds with one stone doing cyber
yeah, and it's
control.
all of their signals. Like we can put out signals to the other ships that are like, everything's normal here, everything's normal here,
Yeah,
continue the
that's-
combat.
That alone
this
is
way.
probably a reason to
Yeah.
do that first, just to keep any assistance from showing up. So
Science and
Well, then
engineering.
wait. So then,
And as you
the
pointed out,
question-
Joe, this thing's maneuverability is clumsy.
Bit clumsy.
My question is, I agree. I think that's a good idea, Joe. My question is, are we then going to try to activate the program to rest now and then immediately wake up and just go do it? That's the plan? That's the best plan, right?
I think that's the best plan because we have no idea what we're going to see once we get to the command deck, and we want to have our spells intact.
Hell yeah.
But it's like we know more now, so I think to the best of our ability, we can I say I'm talking about the spellcasters, conserve, where you can, conserve because we know we have limited rests for the rest of the time.
Speaking of spellcasters too, there was no magic officer for the ship. So if you have any ideas of where Callum would be most useful, I'll just go with whoever when it comes to that. But
it's funny. It's because like metagaming wise, it was written before there was a magic officer. So like there should be one here. You know, like in our world, there should be one here.
Yeah, the chief mate and the magic officer will certainly be helpful on a ship this size, but they don't have a dedicated one on ship board.
Yeah, we'll go somewhere.
But it seems like we can take over everything and achieve our mission by just going to the command deck and not the control deck. Is that correct?
Yeah, they're both in the same area. So yeah, don't overthink the semantics of that. You just need to get to the upper decks there, and you see that there's a grav train 5 to 10 minutes away that will take you as far as the primary command decks, the command and control decks. They're all stacked on top of each other.
So can we put all of our IDs in Wraith 2.0 and then run the whatever? I don't know if it was Tombstone was the
Tomb Robber.
Project Tombstone. Clearly
I get it. So then run Tomb Robber to pick like an innocuous sub deck that we're not on, and just like do a security alert there, and then rest in a hidden away place down here.
Yeah,
and then go 5 to 10 minutes to the grav lift. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep.
Yeah. So rest 8 hours though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also like when you first got into the hangar where you fought that guy and you used the crane and everything, like there were little side tunnels there. You feel like you could very easily find a little maintenance tunnel or a place to hide away if you don't want to stay in one of these rooms.
Yeah. I mean, we don't need bed rest right now. Like we're not diseased. We could just need to get some time to regather ourselves. So I think finding a maintenance tunnel or something.
Here, go ahead and check out the map. David was able to get something up here quick.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so give you an idea, and Grant, this will make more sense to you now about the command and control deck. So you folks are way down here on the ship, and the command and control decks are like these 3 decks up top.
So you can only get to the bottom of those 3 from the grav lift.
Right.
You get there and then you got to fight your way to the top, taking each system along the way.
We should describe it for folks listening. It looks like a floating like thigh or shoulder bone, like going to the socket. Like the main control of the ship is in this kind of lump at the front, and then it goes off into a longer appendage, and it's just covered in almost teeth-like bone spikes all over. It's pretty
It looks like if the medical frigate from Empire Strikes Back was made out of bones.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks like a dragon's head, like a skeleton dragon head.
It does.
I thought bone guitar.
Bone guitar? Yeah. I can see that.
Bone guitar.
Dude, Dax has bone guitar, man. It's like, it looks exactly like this.
You know those guitars that are like double guitars?
2 guitars, you know?
The map looks like it's if you like find a deck by deck map of a cruise ship, like there's a cutaway of a cruise ship. It's you're like, how are there this many decks floating on the ocean at one time?
Imagine for where you guys are, you can like go up and over. They're like you can access the whole ship from here, but you guys just need to go straight up.
Also, the scale is 2 miles on there, so this thing looks like it's 8 or 10 miles long, 6 or 8 miles long. About.
Wow.
It's like a small city.
Well, yeah, it takes thousands of people just to crew it. That's not even like families and stuff. Do they have families, the Eoxians?
They did.
Or did they leave all that behind them when they decide to take on a unlife?
Well, remember that it's mostly probably some of these zombies, like the janitors that are basically being...
Oh, wait, yeah, that's actually a good point. Is that the crew? A bunch of plugged in...
Yeah.
Zombie, yeah.
Could be.
They take care of a lot of the functions, but yeah, there is no... If you had scanned the ship for a living crew complement, you wouldn't have found very much. But yeah, so your plan is to hole up in a maintenance tunnel and everyone get rest. You feel pretty confident in if Frisk can Just give me a computer's check to use Wraith 2.0.
Okay. Natural 1.
No.
That's Darkwater Games in Mashpee, Massachusetts. Flying all their fine dice sets.
Can I lobby for the fact, story-wise, Mei Shun kind of took over and not allowed Friss's natural 1 to happen? I know that's really metagaming and in our benefit, but I feel like you just defaulted to asking Friss because he's been doing it like the whole show. Do you know what I mean?
True.
I'm just trying to argue for something.
She is the one that hacked the system.
You know, Friss still has to remove the virus too, which you can do with a computer
so I wouldn't have
check.
made that check anyway.
Yeah.
To like get this virus out.
So go ahead, Grant, and you use it, because if you fail,
If I fail, it's meant to be.
yeah.
Here it comes. There's a 37.
You're all right.
Okay.
And that is going to use up 2 security cards.
Of how many?
4.
What a dumb situation.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Brutal.
Yeah, well, you just can't cast spells. You have to not cast spells until Linnea and Dax are dead. Then you can start casting spells.
Yeah.
Luckily,
All right.
we're not likely to find anything dangerous on this capital ship, so
Right.
should be okay.
Well, with Wraith, we should be able to shut down the security systems.
Now, here's something to think about.
The robots, at least.
You fought the battle with the Marines down on the controller moon. Then you came up here, defeated a Marine in a ship, 4 robots, 2 worms, 3 undead maroon things, 2 command. This was all without rest.
Yeah, and all with just like casting spells willy nilly.
Yeah. So you did a lot, but yeah, this is the situation. Your days are numbers, and you all know what the end of this looks like. So, how is this rest going, knowing that you may only have so many sleeps left in your life? I gotta imagine people are interested to talk to Seiyun, but Seiyun's a little weird. She just hacked into something that Friss couldn't hack into. Does anybody go talk to her?
Did we find our like access tunnel to kind of
Yeah.
hide out
Are
from
we in
that?
a supply closet?
Yeah,
So-
you're all in this tiny little closet.
Troy, you said Wraith 2.0, but you meant Tomb Robber. And
Yeah.
and
Wraith-
Wraith 2.0, we don't need a role to put us in the system.
No, basically, once you got access, you were able to take your images and put them in. And
Okay,
then
so
Tomb
we're good
Robber
on
is
that.
The hack.
And now we're good to rest. Kreska?
What are you asking if I'm okay?
No, I'm saying you have a stranger in your crew. You need to figure out what's going on here.
Are we ready to? Am I allowed to roleplay now?
you may
Papa, can we roleplay now?
it will cost you 1 security key.
Not worth it. We'll never meet her.
Not worth it. All right, let's move on to the next tactical combat.
All right, so next morning.
Could we have a fireplace at least, or like a fire pit? No.
Yeah, that's the best way to
Light a
not
fire
attract
on the ship.
attention on a ship.
Never mind. I just feel like
Fire.
I just feel like we haven't had a fire pit situation in
Callum's
a while.
dumping cleaning supplies. Like, I thought it was a good idea. We should not.
Dax pulls out his bone guitar, just starts strumming, finger picking.
Sorry, Matthew. Go ahead with your roleplay.
Now that
That was so demeaning. Sorry, Matthew. Go ahead with your role.
Have your little skit.
Have fun.
Amazing.
squeezing into this access tunnel, Kreska will turn to Seiyun and say, "We haven't been properly introduced." And she'll go around and introduce all the members of the crew, and then she'll say, "Who are you? I don't know if we explained this. It's been lost in the heat of battle, but we had a member of our crew that looked remarkably like you."
Who am I is a excellent question, Captain, but since I've awoken, I've been asking myself more often, what am I? I look at myself in the mirror, and I don't see myself, if that makes any sense at all. The only thing I can seem to remember is a green field in front of me, and a Ferris wheel, and a man's voice calling me Little Star. And as I awoke, among the alarms on what I assume is your ship, I heard of another great power awakening. Something almost as powerful as the star itself. No, more powerful. And I was drawn to it.
Little star, if I might, take my hand and I will show you a little star. And Kreska is going to offer to do a mind link and kind of play the greatest hits of Mei Shun to kind of maybe offer some sort of context for some of these memories that Se-Yun has.
Oh, so sad. This is like the end of season 3 of The Good Place.
Spoilers.
So sad.
Se-Yun feels these memories course through her, willing at first, but the more she sees, I assume you edit the sad parts out of this, particularly her awful death in an acid
He opens
bath.
with the acid pool.
I opened with us pulling her acid-ravaged body from the pool.
Ripping a bandage off, you just want to do it fast and have it done.
It ended poorly, but there was some good stuff before then. No, I don't do that. I just show him the good stuff.
She does recoil eventually. She's ready to see this at the beginning, but then Se-Yun shakes and lets go of your hand in kind of a rush and says, I have never had quite that kind of out-of-body experience before, and being rather new to this one, it's a little jarring, Captain. But thank you.
It must be very unsettling, but I wanted you to understand. We trust you. Foolish as that might be, but you've proved yourself an ally in battle. And I wanted you to know that you are welcome among us.
Thank you. Captain, I should be upfront about this. When I sleep at night, I hear nothing but the screams of a woman. It sounds as if she's being torn limb from limb. I am able to sleep well enough to rejuvenate myself and regain my spells, but I don't.
You know, we have a medical doctor with us. He might be able to prescribe you something to help with that problem.
Oh, yes, Dr. Friss, was it? I'm charmed.
He's also a licensed psychotherapist, and he might be able to also help with the whole out-of-body experience thing.
This is true. This is not ideal circumstance for true psychotherapy, but I can do my best.
Well, let's finish the mission, and I'm sure I'd love to look up your office hours, Doctor.
My door's always open.
So we're cramped in this supply closet.
Yeah, we're all... There's one other thing, Se-Yun. This may be a one-way trip. The stakes cannot be higher. The fate of all life in the universe, the very universe and its existence itself, are at stake here. We have all pledged our lives to the protection of that universe, but you made no such promise. But here you are among us.
And every time Se-Yun blinks, thinking about this, she sees just glimpses of the Cult of the Devourer, just like, she doesn't know that's what it is, but she just sees like a limb being shredded, or like a vein, or like blood dripping off of a finger. But none of that is being communicated to any of you. It's just like every time she closes her eyes, she sees it, and then she's back in this regular reality.
I think Kreska can also offer to give you like a catch-up via mind link, to be like, okay, so like a little whiles back, we were at this space station called Absalom Station. This thing with the drift rock happened. That sent us to this place, and then we went to this place. And then, long story short, end all life in the universe. We want to stop that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Se-Yeon is wondering, like, which one is real? Is she the real one? Is Mei-shun the real one? Who has what? Right now, she's not considering the fact she woke up and has very few memories to mean that she is a clone or an experiment or anything like that. She's thinking maybe she was in a coma for a while, and Mei-shun was based off of her. Like, there's a whole... This is an existential crisis of a whole different variety than most people go through.
It reminds me of the clones in Invincible, or I forget the show name. Never mind. Damn it.
Me too.
Same.
It's
Bottle cap.
Are you talking about the movie about Vince Papali, the Philadelphia Eagle?
what's
Came off the street.
indestructible. The Amazon.
Camille's Philadelphia Eagles. Is that the comp here?
He was a clone?
I am so tired. I'm
Every
sorry.
time Vince Papali closed his eyes, he saw images of cut fingers,
I meant
dripping blood.
the Amazon
He didn't know
Prime.
who was the real eagle.
Amazon Prime comic series.
Invincible.
Invincible.
Oh, the
It is
twins.
Invincible.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Duplicate.
It is
Are you
like
talking
that,
about
yes.
Duplicate?
No.
Oh, no.
Talking about Invincible.
I'm talking about
that's
Invincible. I'm talking about anyway, it's not a spoiler, it's a big spoiler, but there's two clones in it, and they're like
It's in the first 5 minutes of the first episode.
The
yeah.
bad person. Yes. Got it.
Spoilers. Maybe I've only watched the first 3.5 minutes of the
Go to
first
the beach
episode.
and read whatever goddamn book you want, Capital Cosmo. Get the hell off
Maybe
this
I'll
shit.
go, maybe I'll go and read Invincible.
You can.
maybe yeah.
It would actually be a good beach read.
Yeah.
Great beach.
Well yeah. I'm so sorry I ruined a beautiful role playing moment as I have done before. Continue with the bullshit.
Callum farts. He lets it rip. Absolutely lets it rip in the storage.
Oh, in the tunnel, in this like hot,
No, it's
Closet.
steamy tunnel.
He has no reaction. Full teen, not admitting he did this.
We don't smell it because there's no atmosphere, but we do hear it.
Ruin it, Matthew.
You do see the campfire get larger for a second.
Captain, that child just farted in his own spacesuit and looks uncomfortable now.
No, he likes it. He's like, good night, everybody.
Yes, that was a good one. And Kreska lets loose one of her own.
Oh
Just to make
flatulence is
Callum
the worst.
feel a little more not judged.
Callum goes, ew, the captain just farted in her suit. Everyone look. It's so embarrassing.
This is like a Tim Robbins, I think you should leave sketch.
It is.
Trying to convince everyone that the captain farted in their suit instead of her.
Ew, the captain. I do a mutiny. Oh, also, as we're going to bed, Callum asks Kreska, in all seriousness, after we're all talking, he waits for a lull in the Se-Yeon conversation, and he goes, it's also nice to meet you, Se-Yeon. I'm also new to the group. Kreska, do you think we could use the mutiny that Se-Yeon and Frisk discovered to our advantage too? You know, like maybe start some rumors or something.
That sounds like an excellent plan. This is the plan to like incriminate the admiral and the captain. And
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to do that. Like in my mind, the spell would be like message, and you would like to whisper in somebody's ear or something. But if there's a way when we're going to the brig or wherever we're going, to just sort of like implant the seed of just like, oh, they don't know what they're doing and the gunnery, you know, like, I don't know, something.
I think based off of what Troy told us about how this system was sealed off from the rest of the ship, we can't do it from here, but once we get up there, I think that's a wonderful idea, Sydney, to... Seems like Malachar had dirt on both Nashal and Sarahbox and could cause
nice.
So maybe
embarrassment
just-
to them.
I think we're going to have to do it electronically because they don't have minds, unfortunately.
Shit.
But,
Okay.
but could
we
we
can do
like
that.
email it out? Could we do like a group email?
Yeah.
Yeah, go.
Callum
I
asked
slept with
Chris
your
if he
wife.
can write up a blast, and it's like, if you don't send this to 7 of your fellow zombies before midnight, you're gonna have bad luck and never be married.
It's a chain letter.
We just blast the gunnery crew the full all 1,500 gunnery crew members, and then like, don't tell anyone in the engineering department.
Yeah, it's tricky, right? Like if Malachar was still alive, you've got dirt on Malachar, who is trying to do shit, and then you've got the dirt that she has on the captain.
I didn't even think about that.
But at the end of the day, Malachar's dead, and you may have to eliminate the higher-ups. If you take over the ship or drive this thing, they're not going to be around anymore unless they escape.
Was there a way to have her be on our team? Like, if we had done anything differently?
You'll never know. She's dead.
I doubt it. We tried. We tried to talk to her a little. Do you remember? We tried in the room to talk to her. She was dead set.
You got the sense that she was impressed by you, and that when she fought you, she was probably hoping to kill you, turn you undead, and then have a team of people, an elite fighting team under her. She hesitated for a moment to be like, maybe I can just convince them to come with me now, but she didn't know that was going to happen, so she... full of pride, thought she could kill you and turn you and then make you her minions.
Damn it.
But it didn't work out. Is anybody else chatting it up in this night? You got to imagine, this is like, I think about one of the few bright spots of the final season of Game of Thrones is that night before the battle when they're all sitting around talking. You know, these rests that you're having, you got 2 security keys left. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? But you know what Osteth said. You know what the stakes are. You're not going to have a lot more moments of calm to really talk and know about the people that you're sacrificing everything with.
I think Linnea has a hard time sleeping. I think...
She doesn't regain any hit points.
Okay. Well, okay, she has about 10 minutes of a hard time sleeping, then she falls asleep. But during those 10 minutes, she's very sad. She, unlike everyone else, I think she doesn't really realize when she came into this adventure that what it actually meant to sacrifice everything, even though her mom did that. And I think she's lying to her side and just staring into nothing, and she can't really sleep. And then I think she walks over to Callum, her one friend who's still alive, and
Callum's also staring straight up at the ceiling, and he's like, he keeps shifting. Callum's asleep, like the sleeper in the room with everybody, where it's like every 5 seconds, it's like,
oh yeah, oh I hate that, and
like
snoring,
rolling around, can't get comfortable. So he's staring up at the ceiling.
Yeah, are you awake?
Yeah. Is everybody awake? Sorry, is everyone awake?
Yeah.
All right, yes. Sorry, I can't roll over. I can't get comfortable. Sorry. What's up, Linnea?
So I feel bad for dragging you into this. I feel like it's on me. I wanted to bring you back to Absalom Station and show you my world, but I feel like that's not going to happen now.
Linnea, you didn't drag me into this. I wanted to go.
Yeah. I didn't fully realize.
Linnea, can I tell you something? I'm not going to repeat this, but this has been the most fun that I've ever had.
Oh, no.
I'm having a really great time, and I'm really happy that I met you. And that's it. I don't know. Maybe if we went to school together, stuff would be different. Maybe we wouldn't even be friends. So I'm happy we're friends.
I feel that too, Callum. I really feel that, even though it's morbid to say, but I have been enjoying these past few weeks a lot as well. But now when people are dying, and I mean, first my mom, and then Qualo, and Steve, like, it's starting to get really, really terrifying. And I don't know if, can you promise me, can I die before you? I don't want to see another friend of mine die.
No. What? No. I miss Qualo too. I've lost a lot of people. and
All right.
I'm going to do everything to have everybody not die. I can't promise you anything, and I won't.
I'm not as smart as the doctor or the captain, but as far as I know, I don't think there's a way out. I don't think there's any way out, but if we can, I'll try to protect you as much as I can. But if not...
Stop trying to protect me.
All right.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. Thank you. Thank you.
No, of
You're really
course.
strong. You protect everybody, though.
I try. I try.
You remind me of something, though. Doctor, are you also awake?
I am now.
Sorry, I thought everybody was awake. Callum has been like rolling around, and he has this bag, and he pulls out this bag, and he takes out these two are in like vials, and one is in like a loose baggie, and he's like, I took these a while ago, not from you. I didn't steal from you, but I took these, and I don't know if I'm going to use them, but I figured I'd give them to you. You're a doctor, so maybe you know like the dosage and stuff. But and he gives you Rapture Dust, Twinkle, and Zero, which are 3 drugs that he stole off of a previous ship that he was on. They have different effects, but I can tell you later. But they're not extremely useful. It's like saves against fear effects and being sickened. One gives you a +2 to perception checks and against fatigue and exhaustion. But I just think they could be better used by everybody, and I think you'd know what to do with them. So I'm just going to give them to you.
Frisk takes them. He takes a look at them and he's like, "What you don't? Boy, you having a party or something? Why you don't want to take this without supervision? It can be unpredictable based on your metabolism. Why you take this?"
I wasn't going to do it. I just took them to maybe sell them if I ever got off the ship that I was on. I thought maybe I could, I don't know, sell it or try to, I don't know. I was in a bad spot, so I just took it at the time, but I wasn't really thinking, and I don't want them.
Okay. I hold on to this. If we live through this, I'll give him back. Hopefully, you won't need them. Hopefully, you won't need the kind of money you make from getting these.
I don't really care anymore about the money or whatever. I just thought maybe somebody could use them or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay. Good. It's a good thing to give me these.
All right.
Puts him in his medical bag.
Callum feels like he just gave drugs to an adult, but like didn't actually feel good about it. Like he's like, I thought I did something right. Made me feel worse about it.
I have a quick question. Captain K, when you mind melded with me and showed me all of Mei Shun's greatest hits, leading with the acid death, did you show the scene where Dr. Frisk and Mei Sun decided to fire onto Mac? Is she aware of that now? Because I've been thinking.
I think that Kreska would feel it was important that you know about the former captain and the great sacrifice she made to save our lives.
Is that still unknown to Linnea?
That's the thing. I think it is. Like, I think she assumed that Mac sacrificed herself, but it was never cleared up.
And she did, but
Yeah.
the manner of it was never really explicitly said to you.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, they didn't want to upset you. But yeah, it is a weird elephant, blown up mother in the room, as they say.
So now everyone knows, except Callum and Linnea.
It's for everyone except you.
And it all comes back.
All right, do we want to rest and head up to the next deck?
No, Dax hasn't done his role playing.
Oh, right, sorry.
It's my turn. Matthew, shut your mouth. He's gonna come up to Seiyan And he waits until a long time after she's talking to Friss, and he's thinking about how different she was, but then about her seeing images. Wait, you said you didn't say anything about that? That you don't have... What did you say that Se-Yun says about having any memories of Mei Shun?
It terrified her to see... It didn't terrify her. It gave her a strange out-of-body experience to see Mei Shun doing all these activities, seeing herself, basically, out there with this crew for missions she doesn't remember. And seeing them didn't, unlock past memories of that for her. It just simply washed over her like watching a ghost.
Se-Yun, I can't help but notice you didn't have the reaction I expected from seeing images of Mei Shun and our mission thus far. Have you no memories of any events like this?
No, this was the first time I'd ever seen Mei Shun do anything like that. And yes, she seemed to be a good friend of yours. I imagine it might be strange seeing her again in me. For you.
It is strange. To be honest, I didn't know there was much difference between the two of you. Now, I see it's much different. And I wonder, what do you believe to be your memories?
I suppose the only memories I have so far are the ones after I woke up. I'm hoping that in continuing to adventure, maybe I'll remember more. I mean, it seems crazy that I just exist as an adult and have no past, right? Everyone has a childhood.
Yes, it interests me in particular because I believe your skill with that computer was representative of training, intense training. There is no way that can come naturally. There must be something that you can unlock. I myself have experienced several memories that are strange to me. Glimpses, pictures, moments that I don't know if they are mine or if they are someone else's. I've been trying to solve this riddle myself, and I wonder if you and I could work together to solve each other's problem.
I think if this were the movie, you'd see little snippets and cuts of Dax piloting and seeing the frame of the Lashunta woman whose face he can't make out.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the same time, it's intercutting with shots of someone working on Mei Shun as just this empty vessel of a body. Se-Yun as just this empty vessel of a body. And I picture it kind of like the scenes in Fire in the Sky when the aliens catch him. Right. Exactly. They're awful. They're awful, the things that were done. And just this apparatus keeping Se-Yun's eye open as just like this big techno needle slowly goes into the drill. And like an organic material suctioning her body down to the table as she's like being worked on and having this training done. Like right as you say training. As you say your memories show up, and then as you say the training I must have gone through, that shows up.
But
there is perhaps a way to know which memories are actually ours and which are not. But what I have found, and what my friend Qualo helped me realize, you heard about Qualo, is that we are not defined by our memories. We are defined by what we do now and how we choose to think about that past, whether it's ours or not. I find it incredible that you, with no former memory, want to come on this mission. Why do you want to come on this mission?
I feel drawn to this place, and she looks around at the Eoxian structure. Almost like a moth to a flame. And I can't really describe the attraction, but I know that helping you feels good. And stopping the people we've stopped has felt right. If I were to go into any of the battles and turn the tables, attack you, help them, it would feel wrong.
Interesting. A deep feeling rather than logic. Rational reasoning behind the mission. I feel the same way, I believe. I heard Callum say it earlier. I was eavesdropping.
I'm still awake. What's up? What are you saying?
Oh, sorry, Callum.
What did you eavesdrop on?
Sometimes I forget to whisper at night.
You're talking so loud, it's echoing.
Did you awake yourself by flatulating in your suit again?
How did you know I did that?
How did you know I did that? I said it was the captain.
No, I over the comms.
Press my button. I press the button. Why is it always on? Leave me alone.
Why is it always on? Leave me alone.
Turn on your white noise programs.
No, the truth is, my people are not known for depth of feeling. No, but also not for the complete absence of it. And I can say, without any doubt, that my feelings have changed a great deal since meeting the captain and the doctor and the others we've lost along the way. I have felt this mission in particular has given me a life I didn't have before, and one that I enjoy. And he sort of sits back and sits tall and just stares out, and that's the last thing he says.
I sensed satisfaction in you, Dax, and when I woke up, I felt nothing. And then when I stepped into the battlefield with you, I felt numb. And every step I take with all of you, I feel a little bit more. Almost like blood rushing back to a limb you've sat on for too long. So I can't wait to see what else awakens in me. And this whole time, just click, 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 click. Just scenes of just absolute awful horrors being done.
Well, suffice to say, we are all living a very interesting life now. And perhaps, even if it costs our lives, we can save everyone else's future. Right, Callum? Damn it.
Let him sleep. Let him sleep.
He was just awake.
He's had a big day.
Linnea overhears this conversation. It's like, wow. All right, this is officially getting dark. Everyone. And she pulls out a bottle with cherry. This was my mother's favorite. And she pours everyone a drink.
Callum wakes up.
And we open our suits to drink them, and we all suffocate and die.
Yeah,
exactly. Hey,
Dax enjoys his thoroughly. Soft
exactly. Hey, Seon, you said you were feeling numb. How about you have some of this? Now you definitely will feel numb.
Also, pleasure to meet you, Floyd, passing around the cherry.
I gave Frisk drugs. We could do them.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, if we're gonna die tomorrow, let's live.
This is our last rest. Let's do all the drugs in our possession.
What's the penalty for being hungover in battle? Is that a -4 on all attacks?
Hey, Callum is 14. I just realized, and so is Dax. I just realized you guys have 15. You're teenagers. You haven't had any life experience. Let's do it all tonight.
Oh my God. He gets out his guitar. Let's do this.
Tom gets his bass.
Linnea starts dancing.
My God.
We play an unplugged session, Troy. An unplugged session. We're not making noise, and you just hear like.
Yeah. Man, isn't it so great, Skid, how the vacuum of space is completely silent?
It is. I love miming everything. It's great.
So you all have these moments together, Captain K, Dax, the pilot, Chief Mate Linnea, the magic kid, Callum, your engineer, your science officer, your resident genius, Dr. Friss, and this familiar yet unfamiliar technomagical wonder in Seyan. You now know the layout of the ship. You know that there's a crew complement of thousands, and yet there's only 6 of you, and 6 of you are the only ones standing in the way of complete annihilation of planets, solar systems, everyone and everything that people back home love. And all you gotta do is take a grav train to the command deck.
No.
We'll see you next week.
So much the time flies when you role play.
We're dying. We're going to the end. It's gonna be the end, and I'm crying.
It's like Saving Private Ryan in the church.
Cat.
We all have to die before Linnea. That's what I learned from her flashback.
That's right. That's
Yes.
an order.
She has
Zoom
to.
in on Joe's blue eyes.
No, I said the opposite. I want to die. I want to die before all of you. Oh, God damn it. For Sweden.
Man. Tell me I led a good life.
I would look like that dude at 80.
It's 60.